Welcome back to the channel. The last you've seen of this project, we got the engine to start up for the first time. So now, within this video, we will talk about the power steering system for the S62 swapped E46. Let's get into it. Welcome to the bottom of my car. Okay, so to kick off the power steering summary, to tie the chassis of the car to the steering using this custom steering shaft that I made a few videos back. It's a DIY slim shaft that I made using two other BMW steering shafts. And then the steering rack itself is actually the original E46 one. It's bolted to the E46 subframe, like factory. See that? And as far as the actual power steering pump itself, using the original unit from the M5. Now, when it comes to the power steering reservoir, I took this bracket from a different BMW model. I cut it, modified it, had it powder coated, and I bolted it directly to the body of the E46. And then the matched power steering reservoir holder slides right onto the bracket and bolts in here, and then the bottom slips through a little leg that I added to the back of that bracket. And then you take the reservoir, you slide it in like that. I am very pleased with that. It looks OEM. I had this piece at the shop, so I decided to use it, and it turned out great. Power steering cooler. We have this beautiful OEM, genuine BMW power steering cooler, which was found on very limited SUV models. Hard to find this exact one. Anyway, it works perfect because it has the quick connect fittings in the same location as the original E46 cooler. Moving on to the hoses. Count with me now. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. This one here is a modified stock E46 return hose that goes to the reservoir down to the pump. It has been cut and modified with some protective measures as it contacts some things. This hose here goes from the reservoir to the power steering cooler. This is the original E46 quick connector. I then spliced in a hose from the parts store. Once again, have some protective measures added to the hose. Number 3 is a unmodified E46 hose that goes from the power steering rack up to the cooler. The only thing done to it once more are protective measures due to contact of things. And then the final hose is actually a original LF30 hose, meaning you found a hose like this equipped on E46s that use the LF30 power steering pump. Modifications done to this one include bending up this bracket and also bending up this side here. This hose goes from the power steering rack to the power steering pump itself. This is the high pressure hose. Let's now test fit the hoses. First up will be the bottom of reservoir to the cooler on the top port. Then I'm going to install this one, which goes down to the rack. And also to the bottom of the cooler. Number 3, from the reservoir down to the pump. And lastly, number 4, from the rack to the pump. And there we go. Now you can see exactly where they're supposed to go. You can see the return hose here. It lightly contacts the oil filter. That's why I have this protective stuff on it. And then as you can see, this LF30 hose, how it shoots up and then goes into the pump. Turned out pretty nice. It also threaded right in. And then it goes around the oil pan, shoots through this channel here in front of the rack, just like the original routing of it. And then as you've seen, it bolts to the rack itself right there. And then here's the passenger side view of it going behind the oil pan. And that's it. Then the one hose that leaves the power steering cooler and comes back and goes to the rack itself. You can see it snakes in between the body of the car and this engine mount arm. That is why I have the protective shielding around it as well. Here we have the quick connect hoses, obviously going to the power steering cooler, snapped on, and then going to their sources. So now with the power steering figured out, I had to do some other things, including moving the coolant reservoir. I originally had it more so like right here, but it was directly in the way of the intake tract, which I want to go down into there. So I had to remake the brackets for it and kind of step it away from that area. Made this bracket here and stuff just to hold it out of the way. I originally was going to work with it, but that involved having to kind of stretch this way out here. So I figured moving it back a few inches. As you can see, it's going to be a pretty nice shot with an elbow right down to there. Same with this side, it's going to come down right into there. And there's going to be filters ending up probably here on either side. Other things that I'm doing are I'm finishing up wiring for the body of the car. Further updates would be getting the interior back together for the most part. There's not much change in here from the last iteration. I had it apart due to wiring and some things. Went back to original seat belts, as you can see over there and here. And also, I got them to retract fast versus the typical E46 experience. My latest video, directly before this one now, I showed you how to fix this slow retraction issue, which is common for E46s. If you're interested in that, check that video out. As you can see, it's really come a long way. I am super stoked to drive this thing. It's going to be awesome. Is this thing fucking... Oh, yeah. Okay. That's all for today's video. It's nighttime. It's not day. That's all for... So there we have it. That's all for tonight's video. If you enjoyed the footage, feel free to subscribe to my channel, as I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch you later.